Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin our services, if we can please kindly turn off all cell phones or electronic devices, or please place them on silent. Thank you.
Kirachem av albanim, richam Adonai re'av. As God has compassion for his children, God has compassion for all of us. God knows how we are fashioned. God remembers we are but dust. But Adonai's compassion is everlasting, and God's kindness to children's children endures, age after age, unchanging. We always begin our service with Psalms, the oldest liturgy that we have, going back to the time of the Bible. And in that way, we're going to link Margie's life to 3,000 years of Jewish tradition, to the people of Israel, and to the eternity of God.
Shir lamalot Ezri me'im Adonai oseh shamayim va'aretz Ayitein lamot raglecha al yanum shomerecha Hine lo yanum velo yishan shomer Yisrael Adonai shomerecha Adonai tzilcha yad yeminecha Yomam hashemesh lo yakeka v'yareach b'alayla Adonai yishmorcha mikol ra, yishmor et nafshecha. Adonai yishmor tzeitcha uvoecha, me'ata v'ad olam.
Psalm 121, a song for ascents. I lift my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? My help comes from Adonai, maker of heaven and earth. Adonai will not let your foot give way. Your guardian will not slumber. The guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. Adonai is your protection, a guardian at your right hand. By day the sun will not strike you, nor the moon by night. Adonai will guard you from all harm. Adonai will guard your soul. God guards your going and coming, now and forever. Amen. And now we'll turn to the words of Psalm 23, and for that we'll be led by Rabbi Michael Davies, Congregation Sons of Israel.
Mizmor LeDavid, Adonai lo ro'i lo echzar, binot desha yarbitzeni al memenuchot yinahaleni. Nafshi yishovev yancheni b'maglei tzedek lema'an shemo, ga'am ki elech v'getz al mavet lo irara ki ata imadi. Shiftecha umishantecha heima yinachamuni, ta'aroch lefanai shulcha neged tzororai, dishanta v'shemen roshi kosi revaya. Ach tov v'chesed yurdefuni kol yimei chayai, v'shafti v'veit Adonai le'orech yamim. A Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack for nothing. God lets me lie down in green pastures, leads me beside still waters, refreshes my soul, guiding me along the right paths for the sake of God's name. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff encourage me. You set a table before me in the face of my foes. You anoint my head with oil, my cup brims over. May only goodness and kindness follow me all the days of my life, and let me live in the Lord's house forevermore.
This past Shabbat in the synagogue, we concluded our reading of the book of Genesis, Breshit, the biblical book of beginnings. And there in that book, we learn not only of the beginning of life, but also of life's end. At the time of the passing of the patriarchs and the matriarchs of our people, it is members of the family who come forward to speak words of eulogy, words of memory. And so, in keeping with what is truly an ancient tradition, we're going to hear today first from Brett, and then from Deborah, and then McCrae. Brett?
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. It means so much to me, and I know it would mean so much to Margie. We're here not just to mourn her loss, but to celebrate her life. And in the words you'll hear going forward, hopefully you'll get a sense for that celebration. I want to especially thank the two congregations represented here, and they're working together. It's a true inspiration, and they've been a true inspiration in my life. So, what can I say about Margie? I'm going to focus on two character strengths. In the Jewish tradition, these are called midot, and in the discipline of Musar, we try to build our character strengths. Those character strengths are qualities that we ascribe to God, and we aspire to be more holy ourselves by emulating the one who has created us. Two midot, two character strengths that Margie displayed. The first is called zrizut, alacrity. The Lubavitcher Rebbe was quoted as saying, "Anything worth doing is worth doing now." That's what zrizut is. That's what alacrity is. Margie was someone who wanted to do things now and get them done in the right way. And it didn't matter how tired we were or how much we had on our plate. She always had that sense of alacrity. And when I acted with alacrity, she was so appreciative. That was something she really valued. The second quality, midah, that she exemplified was love. Love for the cats she grew up with, love for her grandchildren, her children, all family members. She was amazingly loving and giving. Even when she was sick at the end, she would get a phone call from a family member, and suddenly her whole spirit, her whole tone of voice, her whole energy level rose out of that sense of love. You put those two qualities together, getting things done, the alacrity, but doing them out of love, not doing them simply out of duty, but doing them out of love. You put those together, and what you have is what they call in the Jewish tradition an Eshes Chayil, a woman of valor. And that's how I would like Margie to be remembered, and that's who she truly was for all of us. Thank you.
tissues ready too, just in case. All right, we're good here. Thank you all for being here today, whether in person or joining us virtually to mourn my mom, Marjorie Steenbarger. I am the oldest of her 5 children. My siblings, Steve, Laura, Devin, McCrae, and I, had our individual relationships with Mom, but we also shared many experiences in common. As the oldest, we decided it felt right for me to speak on our behalf regarding how we all knew her. I should also warn you, I'm the one most prone to crying. So please bear with me. And Mom, I'll channel your strength right now. Anyone who knew our mom would describe her in remarkably similar ways: kind, bubbly, easy to laugh, with a great sense of humor that was punctuated with a dry wit. She did not like a fuss and was honest to a fault. She never wanted to be a source of sadness for us, and if she sensed we were crying about her, she would call us out immediately. I got called out a lot. Being a mom was her true joy. She had a unique and special relationship with each one of us, shaped by who we were and what we needed. For Mom, family always came first. Staying connected to our lives, listening deeply, offering unvarnished honesty when asked, and giving unwavering love at all times. Her love was constant and unconditional. Because of that, each of us had the freedom to pursue our own dreams and to learn from our mistakes, always knowing that she had our best interests at heart. Mom also had a great love of cats, which she passed on to all of us. She named her first cat Naomi Ruth, after the story in the Torah of Naomi and her daughter-in-law Ruth. That story represents loyalty, inclusion, hope, and the possibility of spiritual transformation. Ruth teaches us that the Jewish identity is chosen through commitment and action, not just birth. This mattered deeply to our mom. She believed that actions speak louder than words, and she taught us that our choices reveal who we are and to help us understand others. We were also taught some very practical truths. If ever given a choice, you must choose chocolate over vanilla. Actually, Mom made it clear this was not really even a decision and simply just a fact. And one must spend money wisely. Being frugal was her Olympic sport, and she was a gold medalist. She disliked shopping, but loved a great bargain. She saw it as a challenge and enjoyed regaling us with her conquests. At her height, Mom was 5 feet and 1/4 inch tall. And if you ever mentioned her height without including the 1/4 inch, she would hear you from wherever she was in the house and would immediately correct you by shouting, "And 1/4 inch." This past week, the 5 of us, along with her beloved husband, Brett, gathered by her hospital bedside. I got this. I got this, Mom. Her spirit was strong, even as her body was failing. Her mind was clear, her memory intact, and her sense of humor very much present. We spent time together as a group, in pairs, and one-on-one. We were profoundly grateful for her strength and her will to be fully present, to share what was in her heart and to receive what was in ours. nothing was left unsaid, which is a true blessing. She was surrounded by our love, and we were comforted by hers. Mom gave generously of herself until her very last breath. In her final words, she told us that her children and grandchildren are her legacy. She asked us to love one another and to be there for one another. May we honor her memory in how we care for each other and how we continue to live our lives. May her memory be a blessing to us all.
Craig?
Marjorie Steenbarger, my mom, also known to me as the little lady, because that is exactly what she was through and through, a lady. Kind, respectful, and bright always. Her personality and warmth, you could feel it from anywhere in a room. You could really just sum up my mom in a few words as being tough as nails and sweet as strawberries. And as I dabbled over this past week looking for a word of perfection to summons everything, for having been a part of each other's lives and having her in our lives, the word I thought and kept coming up in my head was blessed. And so, for all of you who are here with me, right here, right now, or whether you're watching this through your monitor, I just wanted to say thank you for being here. It would mean so much to her. And I love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing those lovely words and memories. We've already noted that we completed our readings from the book of Genesis, Breshit, this past Shabbat. Interestingly, two of the book's portions, which speak of the passing of patriarchs and matriarchs, have the word life rather than death in their titles. This past week's Parsha about the death of Jacob is titled Vayechi, and he lived. Earlier in the book, the portion that tells of the passing of our first matriarch, Sarah, is titled Chaye Sarah, the life of Sarah. And actually, from the word life used there, Chaye is a plural form, and we learned that it could mean the lives of Sarah. Commentary sees on that nuance of the Hebrew to suggest that Sarah experienced life in various parts or stages: her childhood, first years of her marriage, motherhood. In truth, that's the way most of us experience life. in stages. Yesterday, when we sat together talking about Margie, there were stories from all the stages of her life, her childhood. These are really more like family legends, learned from hearing them from Margie's mom and from Margie herself over the years. By these accounts, Margie was a headstrong kid. Her mother wanted her to have Mary Jane's, those fancy, shiny shoes so many little girls of that era remember. Margie refused. She preferred more comfortable and practical footwear, and she wouldn't give in. Same with summer camp. Didn't want to go, period. She knew what she wanted, and she persisted, from what she wore to what she ate. And she was also honest to a fault. There's a wonderful family story that the family shared about Margie's best friend's mom trying to register her daughter for nursery school along with Margie, even though her friend was a little too young for the nursery school program. The mom fibbed about her friend's age, but Margie, who was there, corrected her, which didn't exactly please the mom. But as has been noted, Margie was honest to a fault from her earliest days. Now, one of the things commentaries find in the fact that the matriarch Sarah's life unfolded in stages is that there were certain elements of character that remained consistent through all the stages of her life, throughout all her years. So too with Margie. From the stories of her youth and from everything that you've said about her, character emerges. Practical, no frills, honest. Her love of cats. From that came care for animals in general, and she never could bear to see an animal treated cruelly or suffer. Another early trait, her love of reading. You spoke about her father taking her to the library. And throughout her life, Margie was a reader. She particularly enjoyed historical novels. Stages of life. As we spoke about the ensuing stages of Margie's life, you noted more about her consistency of character, her humor. Laura, you said she was full of laughter. And Deborah, you noted that she would conclude every sentence with a giggle. The words all of you, Steve, Deborah, Laura, Devin, McCrae, used in describing your mom say it all. Warm, loving, caring, supportive, always, constantly, throughout your life, throughout hers. With all of you, and even with your friends, this was the case. Deborah, you told about how you and your friends from junior high school could share all the drama of early teenage years with your mom, mean girl stuff, and more. And she would give you simple, straightforward, sound advice about how to handle it. She was intuitive. She helped you see people and what might lie behind their actions. McCrae, you talked about your friend Mark, who would come to your house after sporting events or practice for various sports teams. And he'd walk in and he'd say to her, "Hi, Mom." Margie made everybody feel comfortable. 5 children, 3 from a first marriage, 2 more adopted with Brett, and you all say the same thing about your mom's character. Consistent, warm, loving, supportive, caring, compassionate with you and your friends, and with her many students as a special ed teacher as well. She knew how to let you be yourselves, how to bring out the best in you. And you enjoyed the simple pleasures of simply being with her, whether it was hanging out in the bedroom with her, the back rubs or leg rubs, watching TV shows and talking about them, laughing about them. I want to note here another aspect of that Hebrew word for life, chaim. Chaim is a plural word. In Hebrew, there's no singular noun for life. It's always plural, chaim, as if to say that life to be lived most fully must be lived in the plural. It must include others. And that's the way Margie lived. She never wanted to be the center of attention. She would always spotlight others. She made a big deal about your birthdays, always using those special number candles that she had from when she was a kid. Even when some of them broke over the years, she found ways to use them creatively. An upside-down 5 could be a 2. It was the memory that mattered, and the memories she made with all of you. For herself, she never really wanted anything. She did appreciate when you got her chiclets or slippers. Nothing extravagant, simple, practical. And any gift she received, she treasured and hung on to it. But what she enjoyed most was getting you something that you might have mentioned in passing and that she thought you might need. She was frugal for herself, but never when it came to those she loved. And she loved all of you. And clearly, you knew it, and you loved her. Margie loved teaching, too. All the character traits that made her such a good mom suited her for a role as a special ed teacher. Teaching is all about life in the plural and appreciating what makes each individual student unique, finding the best in them, bringing it out. Her skills and success led to her being tapped to be an administrator, and though she did that and was good at it, she still preferred the classroom. The students were her passion. Chaim, life in the plural. And her partner in all of this for 42 years was you, Brett. I asked you how you met. You said it was at a New Year's party for singles. So I asked what attracted you to her. And you responded, chemistry. We hit it off. But then you elaborated. You said you very quickly recognized her warmth and you were struck by the quality of her relationship with her children, with Steve, Deborah, and Laura, and the depth of her love for them. So you began life together, and you added Devin and McCrae to the family, and you raised them all, saw them educated, enjoyed every milestone, graduations, weddings, time with extended family, grandchildren. You made a good life together. You supported each other through travel, which you enjoyed, to Europe, to Eastern Europe, cruises, Israel. You shared so much. Supported each other through different views on religious tradition and how to embrace Judaism. You know, when a couple's married in Jewish tradition, we wish for them 7 marriage blessings. In one, we pray that they become Re'im Ahuvim, beloved companions. 42 years together, living life in the plural. Blessing fulfilled. Re'im Ahuvim. Over the days since Margie's passing, the outpouring of love all of you shared around the table has been amplified by messages from extended family and friends from all over the world, really. It has brought all of you closer and reminding you of how much you mean to one another and how much Margie meant to all of you. At the conclusion of a book of Torah, we rise to recite a phrase, Chazak, Chazak, v'nit chazek. Be strong, let us be strengthened. At the end of a book of life that has been lived in the plural so well, we might say the same words, Chazak, Chazak, v'nit chazek. But there's another way of translating that phrase. It can mean be strong, and let us strengthen each other. May your memories of Margie as a wife, a mother, a grandmother, a sister, a teacher, a friend, be a source of strength for all of you. And may the many memories that you share strengthen you and lead you to strengthen one another for all the days and the years to come. We rise for a final prayer.
שוכן במרומים. המסה מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה. במעלות קדושים וטהרים כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים את נשמת מנדה בת דוד ומרתה שהלכה לעולמה בגן עדן תהא מנוחתה. אנא בעל הרחמים אז תראה בסתר כנפיך לעולמים וצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתה אדוני הוא נחלתה ותנוח בשלום על משכבה ונאמר אמן amen.
Exalted, compassionate God, grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and the pure, to the soul of Marjorie Steenbarger, who has gone to her eternal home. Merciful One, we ask that our loved one find perfect peace in your eternal embrace. May her soul be bound up in the bond of life. May she rest in peace. And let us all say, Amen. You may be seated.
I just want to note that at the conclusion of this service, we'll be traveling to Crescent Memorial Park, and then following the service there, the family will be returning to their home at 8 Your Host Circle, and they'll observe Shiva there. This evening, they'll be joining the TBS Evening Minyan by Zoom, and those who are on Zoom here are invited to join that as well. Following that service, there'll be an opportunity for all of you to share memories of Margie. For everything, there is a season, a time for every experience under heaven.